How's everyone doing tonight? Everyone had enough to drink yet? Keep on going. The more you drink, the funnier we get. So anyways, my name is Mark Poderski. I always like to start my show getting everybody acquainted with who I am. It makes things a little bit more intimate. So I am Jewish, and it's kind of weird because my parents aren't. I'm not unlike most Jewish people. I actually have filed a frivolous lawsuit. Let me explain to you what happened, see if you can follow along. What happened was, I was at the gym minding my own business. Out of nowhere, this wet, naked guy smacks into me, knocks me out cold. You'd think that'd be a slam dunk, right? Turns out, they have this thing known as surveillance footage. And it was actually me running around wet and naked, and I smacked into a mirror. I am single, and I know ladies are probably finding that very hard to believe, this big giant hunk of man meat here is single. But I think it's probably because my standards are too high. And, you know, I used to always think, maybe I'll date a girl who's like supermodel quality. And well, that never happened. I figured maybe I'll lower my standards a little bit. Maybe I'll just settle for a girl who's pretty and intelligent. That never happened either. So I figured maybe someone who's cute and funny. All right, that still hasn't happened. To be honest with you, at this point in my life, I'm just willing to settle for a registered voter. Any of you ladies registered voters? No? Okay. I have at this point, I'm 46 years old, and I have figured out at this point in my life, I finally figured out what it is that women want in life. Anyone know what that is?
Not you.
Apparently, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I actually have figured out what it is that women want in life, and it's they want security. And there's a reason why I figured this out, and it's probably because every time I approach them, they start screaming for it. Security! So that's kind of how I know that. I mean, I know you're probably all thinking, you know, when it comes to men, you guys just want to meet a guy that's not going to fall asleep immediately after sex, am I right? I'll be honest with you, I'm just going to be happy to find a woman that won't fall asleep during sex. Then again, at this point, I'm willing to settle for a sleep. I'm not really all concerned, awake, asleep, alive, dead, inflatable, non-inflatable. I'm having sex, I mean, you know. So, I actually had a chance to meet a girl, and it was actually getting to the point where things were going to get intimate. It had been a while. So I was sharing this with a friend of mine, and he gave me some advice, and I know he was trying to make me feel better about things, but he said, Mark, sex is just like riding a bike. And it was supposed to lift me up and make me feel better about the situation. It actually scared the hell out of me, because the last time I rode a bike, I wrapped it around a tree and I was in traction for 3 weeks. I'll share with you an interesting statistic that I heard the other night. And they say that the average women's vocabulary consists of approximately 30,000 words. And the average men's vocabulary consists of approximately 10,000 words. And quite honestly, if you ask me, that's just, it's, ladies, anyone tell me? I'll give you an idea of how bad things have gotten for me in my life in terms of meeting women and getting some action. I've actually started scheduling physicals all around the county just so I can get someone to touch my balls and put a finger in my ass. Dr. Goldberg's asked me to come back for a follow-up visit. He's asked me to bring a Barry White CD and a bottle of red wine. I've actually started showing up at mommy and me classes just so I could get a look at a nipple. My friends with dogs, I'm actually encouraging them to comp my leg. You know, I've actually heard that a woman's orgasm is a beautiful thing. So I've been told. And I'm amazed by some of the things that exist out there. You know, the birth control is an absolutely amazing creation. It was designed to help prevent pregnancy. It's only about 99% effective, but what it is 100% effective at is preventing acne. Now, ironically, when I was younger, I had acne, and that was the greatest birth control ever because I never got laid. I started thinking in life, maybe I just need a friend with benefits at this point. because I need health insurance and possibly a 401k. Anyone remember their first sexual experience? No, so we have a room full of virgins. Really? I remember my first sexual experience. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful exchange of money, cash actually, because I don't think they accept credit cards. So about a year or so ago, I was invited to go to my office Halloween party, the costume party that we had. It was my responsibility to pick up the candy for the event. So I stopped and picked up the candy, and as I was on my way to the office, I passed my old elementary school, stopped, got out of the car, started waxing nostalgic about all the great lessons I learned when I was there. Then I learned an entirely new lesson, and that's that 45-year-old men with a big bag of candy dressed as a clown shouldn't be out on the playground during recess. The cop who arrested me has since invited me back to the police station and asked me to bring a bottle of wine. You know, anyone a gun nut here? Any people with guns? Little gun control laws? You know, they make you wait 2 weeks before you can actually get the gun. I've actually started realizing that gun control is kind of like dating. There is that 2-week waiting period before anything can happen for you, and they do it just because in the end you're probably going to wind up shooting yourself anyhow, right? Any NASCAR fans? NASCAR is fascinating. I love it at the end of the race when they start talking about all their sponsors, you know. I want to thank Goodyear for these tires. They held up real good down the stretch. And I think sex should kind of be like that when you're all done. You should thank everybody who's involved. I want to thank Sealy Posturepedic for making a mattress that was really firm. Trojan for the latex. Those things really held up down the last few thrusts. Little KY Jelly for making things easy. Barry White for setting the mood. Jack Daniels for making her look a lot hotter than she was. The reality of my life is I'm just an underdog. I've been an underdog at everything I've done. And as such, I like to root for the underdog. I like to root for the black guy in hockey. I like to root for the white guy in basketball. I even root for the Asian guy in porn. Guys, thank you very much. We got some great comedians coming up. Let me introduce to you our next comic. She is a corporate trainer and motivational speaker by day, comedian by night. Folks, give it up for Teresa Hummel-Kralinger.
Keep it going for Mark. All right. I love the podium. It's very official for comedy. I feel like I should have an acceptance speech of some sort here. And I like my fellow comics who are writing the material they're going to say right here at the desk before they come up. It's a very interesting comedy environment. So, how you guys feeling tonight? As I lose my word, you guys feeling good? I'm actually kind of back in my old stomping grounds here, and I have to tell you, I wanted to be a comic my whole life and perform in exciting cities like New York and Los Angeles and Lafayette Hill. These are the dreams I've had, and the dream comes alive tonight. But it is my old stomping grounds. Any Chestnut Hill grads here tonight? Chestnut Hill people? Oh, God bless. No one in Boston. I too, Chestnut Hill alum. So it's nice to be back in the neighborhood. It's actually my first time in the main room here at the Barron Hill Fire Company. But quite the honor. So are there some Catholics here? I know I've got a fellow Chestnut Hill alum. Any Catholics? Round of applause. I love like raising their hands politely, like don't hit us, just don't hit us. Oh my gosh, 12 years at Catholic school and Catholic college, I just couldn't get enough guilt. I was looking for the maximum amount of guilt there. Because it really was, a lot of it's around sin, isn't it, Catholicism? We had all different kinds of sin. We had venial sin. Venial sin is like a misdemeanor, right? You just go, you confess it, slap on the wrist, you're out, you're good to go. And then mortal sin is like felony. That's on your record forever, right? But my favorite sin is original sin. I always thought original sin was something that you would commit that no one else had thought of. I know, like sticking a cat with a fork. I don't know, something just really clever. But it was all about sin. And we had the nuns. The nuns were crazy characters, right? Remember that? And we actually had nuns. Remember the St. Joe nuns at Chestnut Hill? We had this one nun, Sister Jackie Chan. I don't know if you guys came across her. a little crazy, She had 2 rulers hooked together with rosary beads. They were nunchucks. She just, you dare not misbehave. It was bad. And the Catholic Church, modernizing a little bit, they actually have a new low-carb communion wafer that they've just introduced. I can't believe it's not Jesus, and I will be struck dead for that joke. Thank you, I know that. No, but Catholic school was tough. It was tough, but I'm glad I went through it. And now I have a great job. I actually just lost the great job that I have as a dancer at Delilah's Den. Yeah, I was caught having an intelligent conversation with a customer, so they had to let me go, but I knew the rules. So who's celebrating something here tonight? Anybody celebrating a birthday, anniversary? Oh, look, you're outing them. I love that. People always out. Anniversary? Is it anniversary? 25 years? Oh my God, high five. That's awesome. Round of applause. That is great. That is just short of how long I've been alive. So it's really good for you. It's nice. Yeah, bring it. This is a great way to spend your anniversary. What? Any birthdays? Night out without the kids? No? Night out without the kids. Birthday? Night out without the kids. Okay. Everybody else, no children? We're just like, oh, what's going on here? Night out without the kids? Oh, it's a great, and I'll tell you, just getting a night out to laugh, and it's a BYOB, so I know you guys have been drinking. I know you've been drinking. I just did a BYOB a couple weeks ago, and everybody was carrying in their coolers filled with beer. Catholic gig. We had a nun and 2 priests in there. They were loaded. They were just trashed. I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. But, well, I just celebrated my 15th wedding anniversary, and I'm very proud of that. 15 years. I'm catching up. I'm trying. And I don't know if you can see it from where you're sitting, but I got a nice gift from Rick.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's cubic zirconia, which, as we all know, ladies, is a fake diamond. So I gave him fake sex. I like to call that pubic zirconia. That's what that is. That was good for me. But anybody who's been married for a while knows that things start to get old after time. And my husband read this advice article, and it said if you really want to spice up your love life, you should pamper your partner. So he made me wear disposable diapers. And I have to say, it did kick it up a notch. Who knew? I would not have thought that. But dating isn't easy either. Round of applause. Where are my single friends here? Where are my single people? Take note of each other. Looks like you're all guys, but it'll be interesting. See what can happen here. I know, it is hard dating. I once dated a guy who had 5 penises. The sex was awkward, but his pants fit him like a glove. Oh, don't you, bro. You know you'll use that. Come on. You're all like, oh, I gotta remember that one for tomorrow. That's a good one. No, dating is tough. I have an 81-year-old uncle who's back on the dating scene. Poor guy has Alzheimer's. He walks into a bar, confidently walks up to a woman and says, hey, do I come here often? Not easy. Oh my gosh. I live out in North Wales, so I'm not too far from you, and we have this wonderful store in Montgomeryville that I have not been in, but I'm very intrigued, Adult World. You guys gone to anybody, Adult World? Don't you drive by and you wonder, some of you actually go in, I haven't had the courage. But I'm curious. Oh, you went on your 18th birthday? Is it cool? Oh, so you're a repeat customer. So what you're saying is I should go, like it's a cool place. Oh my gosh, I don't know, I'm afraid, but I will tell you this, I'm intrigued because I passed by this week and there's a sign that says gift certificates for sale. And I'm thinking, who's buying these gift certificates, you know? It's like Christmas is coming and you're like, oh my God, what do we get Uncle Bob? He's retired, we can't get him a tie. He doesn't golf. He does like his porn. I'm thinking an Adult World gift certificate would really answer that. You know, do they have like gift baskets filled with things? Or like anal love beads? I should not even know what that is, I know. And if you know what it is, I'm really ashamed, frankly, because you should know what that is. But they are cool. Anyway, So I did lose my job this week, and I am a little mad about that, but I'll tell you what really makes me mad: skinny people. Thank you. Skinny people piss me off. I have this one friend, she's really slender, and she says, you know, Teresa, sometimes I just forget to eat. That never happens for me. There could be a nuclear war. My first thought would be, oh my God, is Wawa still open? Please say there's a Chinese restaurant left. I would go through 6 miles of glowing rubble to get an egg roll. Yes, I would. I love to eat. You guys like food? Yeah. Eaters here? Nice. Well, I'm going to give you a little tip. If you like to eat, take a cruise. Take a cruise. Am I right? You guys have done cruises? What cruise line did you take? Oh, Royal Caribbean. Excellent. Oh my gosh. What did you like best about your cruise? The 4 o'clock buffet. It's all about food on the cruise. It's all about food. You walk through that door, you become a tapeworm. I don't know what that is. Honestly, some people don't even drop off their luggage. They're dragging it behind them in the buffet line. It's like, oh my God, I'm just gonna get right to the food. I remember that first morning I went down to the breakfast buffet and I thought I'll get a little something to hold me over till lunch, right? Nice omelet, a couple pieces of bacon, some sausage, toast, cheese Danish, some donuts, French toast sticks, some pancakes, some cheese, smoked salmon, a little fruit, Diet Coke. And as I dabbed the last crumbs from my lips, what was the first thing on my mind? Lunch. Thank you. Sometimes I would go to the formal dining room to read the menu, just to mentally prepare for the event, because it's all about food on the cruise. Needless to say, I did gain a little weight on the cruise. I'm not proud of that. I was a size 2 when I got on the ship. And now I'm a 4, and it's very... Thank you, ladies, for backing me up on that. I appreciate the love on that one. But I did gain some weight on the cruise, and I know what you're thinking. Teresa, you could have used the cruise ship gym, right? No one uses the cruise ship gym. First of all, you might miss a meal. God forbid, we couldn't have that. Honestly, the cruise ship gym is the loneliest gym in the world. The Al-Qaeda could hang out in a cruise ship gym. No one would find them there. Could you picture one of them on the Stairmaster just working out? Oh, God. Thank you for getting the towel reference. I really appreciate that. Big radical Muslim crowd here. I just want to make sure I didn't offend anybody here. I just want to make sure that there's nobody upset with that. Okay, good. Thank you. I'm always afraid that I'm going to piss somebody off with that. I've got a couple things that could make people mad. But I'll tell you, when I got home from the cruise, I was a little sad about the weight gain. Wasn't feeling good about the way I looked. I thought about taking mood-enhancing drugs. Anybody here, just by round of applause, who here is on a mood-enhancing drug? Just you. Thank you. People. Just a couple of you. I don't know. I am afraid to take those drugs. I have a friend. She kept confusing her Prozac with her birth control pills. She had 15 kids. But she didn't care. So that scares me a little bit. Speaking of drugs, I went to my doctor's office recently, and he has a new automated test results service. And they've hired the AOL guy. Everybody remember the AOL guy? They've hired him to do the voiceover. Yeah, so you get this little number, you go home, you punch it into your phone, and you hear, "You've got genital warts." It's very convenient. You don't even have to talk to anybody. So I go to a pharmacy to pick up a prescription, and I'm standing in line behind a woman getting a prescription filled for suppositories. And I started to wonder, like, who is the joker that thought of these little gems, you know? Was there like a guy at Merck in the 1950s thinking, you know, rather than swallow pills with water, why don't we put them up our ass? Isn't that a better option? And what was that animal testing like? I mean, that's get over it. Was this guy like the Jerry Penacoli of pharmaceutical science? What is that about? I knew you guys would get that joke. I'm like, I am so close to Philly. These people are gonna get that. And I looked at the age group too. In fairness, for those, I'm really disturbed that you did get the joke, because how long ago was that? Come on, that was a very long time ago. And I can see some puzzled faces, so in fairness, for those that don't get it, we will have a rodent exercise in the parking lot after the show. Just to make sure. And I can see my friend from California who's like, I have no idea. Deborah, you don't want to know. It was a bad thing. Oh my gosh. Well, here's some good news for you guys. If you're not feeling good about the way you look, you have low self-esteem, you need a boost, take this tip. Perhaps you're already doing it. I would say go to the local farmer's market. I see some of you are already going down this path. My personal favorite, what's your favorite farmer's market? Where do you guys go? Zern's. Oh, high five. High five for Zern's. Zern's. Dying, though. It's a dying farmer's market. I'll tell you what, though. Go to Quakertown. Quakertown Farmer's Market, the Q-Mart. People at the Q-Mart think the movie Deliverance is a documentary. Yes, they do. Honest to God, I go there on my worst day. I am Cindy Crawford. Yes, I am. I am walking down the aisles singing, I feel pretty, I'm so pretty. Interesting crowd at the Q-Mart. I was there last month. This woman is walking down the aisle towards me. She is probably the largest woman I've ever seen. She is so big, she has her own gravity field. There's toddlers stuck to her. We're pulling them off. Just very big girl. She's poured into a pair of white tights. Have you seen her? Have you seen her? She probably does visit the Walmart. She has a t-shirt with the word guess stretched across her chest. I accepted the challenge. I don't know, 360, 385, I don't know. I'd be lowballing here, I don't know. She was not happy. She ran down the aisle, her ass looked like two boys fighting under a blanket. And that visual is my gift to you. Oh, what else do you see there? You always see the punks. You know the kids with more metal in their face than the Franklin Mint? What is going on there? It looks like they were victims of some kind of bizarre fishing accident. Or they fell face first into a tackle box. I don't know. Something weird is going on there. And like, what possesses one to put a 6-inch bolt through one's eyebrow? You know, other than the obvious aesthetic value, why would you do that? Thank you for knowing what aesthetic means. This is clearly an educated crowd. I do that in Runnymede, and they just, right? Anybody from Runnymede, I've run into. Sorry, I figure we're far enough away. But it's just so weird. Like, do you wake up one morning and you're like, oh, my life is shit. I just don't know. I know. I'll put a towel ring through my nipple. I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty. And you never see that one body piercing guy. Don't they always travel in packs? They do. I think maybe it's magnetic. I don't know. There just seems to be this group thing. And the Q-Mart is probably, it's not the cleanest place in the world, but if you're going to eat there, I like the Mennonite stand. You know the one I'm talking about with the chicks with the Mr. Coffee filters on their head serving 2-fly pie? I would eat there. Oh, is this a big Mennonite crowd here? Is it? I thought we were far enough away from Souderton in Harleysville. I really did. I live out that way. I know that's their crowd. I actually was at the Montgomery Theater and did that joke, and they're like, hey. They're all taken off their Mr. Coffee filters. But I like the Mennonites. Mennonites are cool because they're like Amish light, aren't they? It's like they wanted to be Amish, but they couldn't quite commit to all the rules. All right, we'll do the Abe Lincoln facial hair, but not the pilgrim clothes or the horse and buggies. We're just not going to do that part. Love the Mennonites. And the Amish are awesome. By a round of applause, who here goes out to Lancaster County? By a round of applause. You guys go out to Lancaster County? You don't go? Oh my gosh. do they not need to go to Lancaster County? It's like a little over an hour drive. It rocks. And what intrigues me is just pulling in, the town names are fascinating. Don't they have some great town names? Like, what horny Amishman named those towns? You've got, like, what is it, Intercourse, Virginville, Blue Ball. What else is there? Bird in Hand. Have you, oh, look, he's so proud. Have you been there, sir, Bird in Hand? He is so proud. Just yesterday. He repeatedly goes back. It's one of his favorites. Some people shout out Letitz. It's kind of a stretch, Letitz. But there's also G-Spot. I don't know if you guys have you been to G-Spot? No? You know, men can never find that town, can they, ladies? No, they just drive around and around and around. And they won't ask directions. Even when they do find it, they don't stay long. They're in, they're out. Gentlemen, stay a while. You may like it. I know we do. You have to wonder, what are the traffic reports like out in Lancaster County? I bet that's insane, right? It's Friday morning, shadow traffic here. We've got a real backup in Blue Ball. Real backup. Things are moving fine in Intercourse, but you may find slippery conditions, so be careful there. Warning, there's nothing getting in or out of Virginville, nothing at all. We recommend a bypass through Bird in Hand. That's your best option. Yeah. Do you ever wonder, are there gay Amish men? Like, don't you think there probably are? But wouldn't they be easy to spot? He'd be like the only guy at a barn raising singing show tunes, right? I gotta wash that man right out of my hair. Come on, Luke, Amos, join me. Gotta wash that man. He'd start his own support group, Queers on Quilts. Yes. I think you know him. Oh. So coming over here, I'm listening to the radio and I recognize just how out of date I am with music, and I long for the days of good music, like Meatloaf. Remember Meatloaf? Wasn't Meatloaf awesome? Remember that song, I Would Do Anything for Love? Remember? Can we sing it together? Can we sing this song? I would do anything for love. I would do anything for love. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. I always thought it was a song about anal sex. I really did. I really did. I thought he was like drawing the line. You know what I mean? It's like I would do anything. You know, I'm like swinging, wearing like a monkey suit, nipples pierced. But no, don't put that there. No. That is an exit, not an entrance. I'm just saying, don't do that. All right, you guys, I think that's my time. Thank you so much. You've been awesome. I'm going to bring Mark back up.
Give it up for Teresa one more time. Fantastic. Great job. Everyone ready for your headliner? All right, this next guy was voted Philly's funniest new comic back in 1999. He's also appeared on the show Auction Hunters, overbidding for some worthless junk. He's performed all over Philadelphia, New Jersey, up in New York City, down in Maryland, and even Delaware. Folks, give it up for Jim Burns.
I think he left out Maryland. Did you say Maryland? Oh, he did. All right, then he did. How's everyone doing? All right, here's my contribution for the night. By the way, I'll talk about the score in a minute, because I want you guys involved. You guys want to be involved? He already is. He knows what I'm talking about. Someone here is going to get an itch tonight, okay? So I invented this thing, and if it works, we're going shark hunting in a couple weeks. We'll check this out, okay? It's a suction cup back scratcher. I'll put it on the wall over here. If you get an itch, you can actually reach anywhere on your body to scratch an itch. Trust me, I've tried. So I'm going to put this over here. Hold this for me, sir. Tell it yours. There you go. Oh, it's not going to stick, man. No. Come on. How on? There's six over there. We're getting this is done. It's my mission. Why do you want to stick to the sign now? Hold that, Mark. Get the door. You got an inch, go over there. I'll take the mic back. Thank you. All right, here we go. This cooler here, guys. Here's the deal. This is a BYOB night, right? Well, it's also BYOJ night, so I'm asking for someone to step up now. You come up here, tell a joke, you get a free beer. Who wants to come tell a joke? Anybody? Hey!
What kind of cheese is not yours? Nacho cheese.
Hey, this time be good. Guys, it's great to be here. I actually want to share this joke. It's not mine. I heard it the other day, but I think it's close to the perfect joke, so I must share it with you. If you heard this joke, I apologize. Anyway, a disgruntled pirate walks into a bar, and he's got a steering wheel hanging from the front of his pants. And the bartender looks at him and he goes, "Yo, Ahab, that's a nasty affliction you got there." And he says, "Arrgh, it's driving me nuts." It's a great joke. Anyway, I like to research my crowd. And sorry, sir, I didn't research the 1600s, but I'll get to you later. Anyway. I'm sorry, 1700s. Big fan of John Hancock. Tell him he signed his fucking name too big. Should have left room for other people. Anyway, where was I? Oh, I wanted to bust on people from the Rotary, right? So I thought I'd research you guys and see what you're up to. You guys only do good shit. You actually are people in business who actually help the community. So before I get started on my act, give yourselves a big round of applause, because that's awesome. You're that modest? You didn't applaud. Applaud for yourself, sir. You're the man. I hear he's the man, by the way. And I'm glad he's here. Anyway, now, my name's Jim Burns, and I'm very happy to be here. I'll share something with you guys. Just want to let you know this. The other night, I'm married over 23 years now. Actually, about 23 and a half years. And you can applaud or cry, whichever. We're going to go with that. But just the other night, after making love to my wife, she rolled over to me afterwards and said, "Jim, after all these years together, you are an amazing lover." No joke there. I just want to share that story with you. What are you, like, peeking in my house or something? How would you even know? Who said that it would be a joke that I'd be a good lover? How would you know? How would you know?
Just took a shot.
Just took a shot. I don't want you to take any more shots at me.
He knows your wife.
You're right, that's why I'm out here doing comedy. Yes. But I'm going to talk about her now, since you brought her up. I'm 47, my wife's 49. And you know when you get married, they say, for better, for worse. No one said a freaking word about for premenopausal wife. Anyone dealing with this?
Are you premenopausal?
The premenopausal? No, I'm not premenopausal, my wife is. So. Oh. Yes, that's what I said, premenopausal wife.
Oh.
Yeah, no problem. Are you premenopausal? Okay, because I see you're a little, you got like, might have a heat flash going. And if you are premenopausal, I know this moment's all about you, so I will give you as much time as you want. I've learned to tolerate things at this point. I don't argue. Basically, I'm in like a 3-year holy period where I can't argue with my wife. I just have to deal with it. But what's really fascinating about a woman who's premenopausal is there's no minor issues, right? Everything is as big a deal as anything else. I could total the car and leave a dirty fork in the sink, and it doesn't freaking matter which is worse. So I tell her, I said, "Hey, hon, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have an affair on you. And I'm going to make sure that I'm nailing her right on the couch in the living room as you come home from work, because you'll be more pissed off that we left our fucking clothes on the floor than anything else." That's crazy. In fact, I think if we want to cure the world of all our problems, we don't need presidents, we don't need senators, we don't need emperors, we don't need CEOs. In every position of major importance, just put a premenopausal woman in charge. Everything will get solved like that. Think about it, right? President needs a bill passed. Who the fuck didn't vote? No one's leaving for semester break. Do they fucking vote now? What does she want us to do? You wouldn't even jaywalk if every cop was a premenopausal woman. Hey! Crosswalk, motherfucker! And if I remember correctly, your mom said you left a fucking dirty knife in the sink last night. Crosswalk! Nothing to worry about. That's my premenopausal story. And if you look at the word, right? Menopause. I researched it. Just like the F word actually comes from fornication under consent of the king. Because guys today look to have affairs, but in order to do so, you had to bribe the king. Yeah, you learn that. She'll be telling Aunt Sally when you visit the old folks some Thursday night. Aunt Sally, you know what fuck means? She'd be like, yeah, we all know. It's fornication under the consent of the king. What else don't we know here? Now, so seriously, I don't like coffee. I drink the energy drinks. By the way, not liking coffee is like telling people they got HIV. I'll get to that later. So, yeah, I'll get to that later. We'll come back. Don't worry. Remember that. I'm pointing to you in the black. Remember, coffee. Thank you. All right, so we're black coffee. Get it? There's a nice. So menopause. Thank you. The joke's lost its luster, but I'm going to tell it anyway because it's in my act. All right, here we go. Menopause is actually a long expression that got knocked down. What it used to actually was, men, you better pause before you take that axe and lop that bitch's head off. I thought about it. I've looked at my wife going through her hot flashes and shit, and she's like, you have no idea what it's like going through a hot flash. I'm like, you have no idea what it's like being yelled at because you have one. Then she's like, and you never had a period, so you don't even know what it's like. I'm just like, well, tell me what it's like. She's like, how would you like it if you got kicked in the balls once a month? Now, guys, there's no freaking way anything feels like, right? We've all taken a shot. We've played sports. We've walked into a doorknob. We got drunk. We don't know what happened, but, that's the worst pain ever. And I'm like, there's no way it feels like that. Because if we actually had that happen once a month, guys, you would see your buddy coming to meet you at the bar, coming up to you, and he'd be like this. He'd be like, yo, Freddie, you all right? He goes, you guys have any idea what tomorrow is? Kicking the balls tomorrow. So there's no way it feels like that. It just doesn't. And then I'm like, well, here's the thing totally messed up about having a period altogether. You're losing it, and you're freaking out. If this thing happened to me once a month and it totally ruined my world for a week and I was losing it, menopause for me would be 3 years of Mardi Gras. I'd be like, yeah, I'm not bleeding anymore. Ooh. If I am, it's weird, and I don't care because it means it's almost gone. Some days I'm a fountain, some days I'm a dab, I don't know, some days I'm nothing. If I was younger, I thought I was pregnant, but who cares? I'm gonna lose this thing. No, instead you're freaking dealing with a freaking nut job. So I've come to this conclusion. The female menstrual cycle is not designed to make you feel lousy for 1 week a month. It's designed to keep you sane for 3 weeks a month. Because when you're losing it, you're fucked up 30 days a month. Logic, think about it. I'll get back to you on that. All right, it's BYOJ time. Who wants to tell a joke from here? Rub on up, buddy.
Oh, man.
If it's good, there's actually a couple bad sales in there. But you can't have one because you look like an asshole. No, I'm just kidding. No. Glad to meet you. My name's Jim. How are you? Your name is?
Matt.
Matt. Gotta ask a couple questions. Is your wife here with you? Is your girlfriend?
Pardon me?
Is your girlfriend? Okay, you got them far enough apart from each other? Beautiful. All right, Ernie, go ahead. Tell him.
There's a farmer sitting on his front porch. 3 kids walk by with chicken wire. Farmer says, where are you boys going? What are you doing? We're going to catch chickens. Farmer said, okay, have a good time. The next day, they come by and they have duct tape in their hands. He said, kids, where are you going now? we're going to catch ducks. The next day, they come by with Pussy Willow in their hand. And he says, kids, let me get my hat.
Nice. There's your beer. Woo. I like crowds who drink. I end up funnier that way, but it's up to you guys. Hey, shitty week for Bill Cosby, huh? First time in my comedy career, I actually say to Bill Cosby, hey dude, I'm doing a Rotary event in Plymouth Whitemarsh, and I'm having a better day than you. All his sponsors have pulled out. However, there's a new sponsor coming his way. It's a joint venture, KY Jello. The longer you laugh, the easier my job is. Keep going. In fact, I was actually doing some research on one of these. In fact, it's obvious he's done this because the story repeats itself over and over again. And I actually did some research, and there was one woman who said she remembered kind of being groggy, and she wasn't sure until later that she was pretty sure she saw this image. But apparently, she saw Bill Cosby drop his pants and go, hey, 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 it's Fat Albert.
Too soon. Too soon.
And then, remember the Cosby Show? This is true. Remember Claire Huxtable, his wife, right? No joke. She remembers a night back in like the early 70s. And she just remembers having a glass of wine with Dr. Huxtable, right? And next thing you do, she woke up naked the next day in pain. And before she knew it, she was pregnant with Rudy. See, Rudy was the daughter on the show and whatever. And apparently, Dr. Huxtable wanted to name her Roofie, but there's actually people like, oh, that's Bill Cosby you're talking about. Well, I'm sorry.
He's our neighbor.
Is he really?
Yes.
And do you remember every night you've lived in a neighborhood? Let me tell you something. Did he do the pippity-bappity or pippity-boppity? Ah, it's great to be here. How about this? You guys see this story the other night? Florida State University had a big shooting at it there. See that? The football coach there, Jimbo Fisher, got woken in the middle of the night. And he's like, oh my God, there was a shooting on campus? Where? And when they told him it was the library, he's like, nah, I got nothing to worry about. None of my players are there. They tell me it was the club or a fraternity or something. We're good. The library? Whatever. We're still playing Saturday, right? It's great to be here. Anybody here smoke? Oh yeah. Hey, yeah. Woo! Woo! Now, I don't smoke, though. I don't have a problem with people smoke. That's their prerogative, free country, you know what I mean? I'll tell you what I don't like about smokers, see? Let you guys in on this, okay? I don't do stand-up comedy full-time, okay? I could play the Rotary every night, 365 a year. I'd still need a job. They always say, hey, if you're a comic, don't let me have a day job. Yeah, like anyone gives a shit. Like if I go see a band down the street, I think these guys are like doing this every night for the rest of their lives, living on the easy street. So anyway, smokers. Here's where you guys make me mad. You get a break like every hour or two at work, I don't get. You know? Just because you smoke. I don't smoke, I can't have that break. I can't go to my boss and go, hey John, nice day outside, it's about 12 o'clock. Be back at 12:15. I'm gonna go stand in the parking lot and just pick my ass. You're like, what, are you freaking crazy? That makes no sense at all. But if you think about it, I'm much better off for everybody in this room than you are for smoking. Because you're raising our healthcare costs, and who knows what else you're doing with blowing around that secondhand smoke and not being as productive as you could be, et cetera, right? If I go outside with you, right? Think about this. Each of us coming back up the elevator with one smelly hand, and I'm a lot healthier than you, pal. I'll let it sink in. This crowd needs to let the jokes have to germinate among you guys. I'll just sit there. Let it brew. Yes. Did we all get that? We all good? Anyone want a joke for a beer? There we go. Bring her up. Oh, I want to record. Yes, here we go. And she's now conversing. Oh, we're coming this way. Oh, I have to come to you. Oh, okay. Here we go. I get a tip then, since I'm actually officially your server. Oh, here we go. And your name is?
It's a duet.
It's a duet. Okay, that didn't answer my question. Your name is It's a Duet. It's a Duet? I don't know. I just want to do your names. That's okay. Melody? Okay. We're going to start with the really easy questions next, okay? There we go. Here we go.
What's the difference between a guitar and a fish?
Are you asking me that?
Yeah, what do you
Tune a
got?
guitar, I believe, is the
I
answer.
can make that funny. I can make it funny if you can.
Oh, go right ahead. Oh, good.
You can't. What?
Yes. I actually answered that the same way with a different answer. But anyway, we'll give you both 2 beers because if you're not drunk, we need to have an excuse. My God. You're not making Thanksgiving dinner, are you?
You better believe it.
Oh my goodness. Here you go, ladies. Enjoy.
I'm gonna use these to stuff my turkey. Thanks.
Oh, okay. That's cool. She's gonna stuff her turkey with Miller Lights. That's a good idea, I think. I like that idea.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're saying you're welcome. What should I thank you for?
Good idea.
I should thank you for giving you a beer. You're right. Hey, anyone need a ride home? I'll be happy to thank you for it. If you want to take a shit, I'll wipe your ass too. I mean, I was gonna go pick my ass outside anyway. May as well wipe your ass. Anyway, I gotta look at my notes, guys, because I'm 47 and I don't remember things as well. But you don't want me to forget any of this funny stuff. And if I had anything funny, you want me to start getting funny. So here we go. All right. I'm actually gonna share this with you guys. It's not a joke. You ever go to the bathrooms and they've got those hand dryers, which I like to call, so now I know my ass is gonna be wet in 30 seconds? Because your hand's never dry and you have to do this? I discovered this. Try this. And someday, find Jim Burns on Facebook and write back and say, thank you, dude, it works. Next time you use those hand dryers, okay, you can't do this. If you clap like this, they'll be dry in like 10 seconds. I just decided one night because I was really drunk in Vegas, and it worked. So just try it. I'm serious. All right. I just wanted to tell you. I wanted to share that with you. Hey, here's something that I always find fascinating on TV every year. You guys ever watch the National Spelling Bee? No one does? Yeah, because everyone has spell check now, right? No one cares about spelling bees. I totally get it. The spelling bee's stupid because they come up with all these words nobody knows, nobody cares about, with all these kids that just look like they're ready to get their butt kicked because they're so dorky. So I always thought rather than having a spelling bee, these kids should actually learn karate or something like that worthwhile. But they do the spelling bee anyway. And I love to watch it because I like to see people perform under pressure. And it is a very pressure-packed thing. However, if you watch the spelling bee, there's a strategy involved because you want to stall. You want to come up with ways to try to think the word out and sound it out. So if you've ever watched it, you'll notice it's like a bunch of kids that are like, a lot of them are Asian, Indian descent, et cetera, which is fine because they're probably the kids that actually care about spelling. Anyway, so they'll line up, and the best thing is, did you guys see this a couple years ago where this kid just passed out? Like Sanjay hit the pavement, like. I did some research. You know why that happened? They asked him to spell his mother's maiden name. The best part, though, is when it gets to crunch time in the spelling bee, and these kids have to stall. So what do? They ask for a definition of the word, right? And they always ask for a word in a sentence. If I was ever a judge in the National Spelling Bee, I would absolutely, be the worst judge ever. I would just bust the stones of these little dorks. And it would go something like this. Your word is onomatopoeia. Could I have the definition of onomatopoeia? Sure. Onomatopoeia is a word used to describe sounds, such as tinkle, as in you probably want to piss yourself right now. Bang, as in a shotgun, not in bang your mom, because I saw her and she's hideous. What else would you like to know, Dick? Could I have that word in a sentence, please? Sure. You have no fucking clue how to spell honorability. That's my spelling bee. That'd be good entertainment too, let me tell you.
How do you spell it?
I believe it's O-N-E-A-P. I have no idea, I forget. I had it back many, many years ago in high school. But I do know if I was asked the question of what's my name, I wouldn't struggle with the answer. I do know that much. Well, we'll focus on that later. Yes? Yes? Oh, I thought you said something. I'm sorry. And I gave them each a beer. You know? So I invite them for breakfast, they piss in my cornflakes. Ugh. I'm telling you. But anyway, I was kind of on a thing. You guys check this out, right? You got sports fans here? Yeah, I'm a huge sports fan. You guys have seen this. They actually have professional football at a rather minor level now in India. Have anyone seen this? I'm like, this is rather interesting, like India, right? They got pretty big over there, right? Like, we have New England, they have New Delhi. We have Bombay, they have Bombay, we have Green Bay, it'd be kind of cool. Like, we have the 49ers, they have the 7-Eleveners. True. But the best part would be the like play-by-play of a national Indian professional football game. Could you just picture this right now? Patel calls the signals. Backs are split. Patel drops back. Oh, he eludes the rush of Patel. He's scrambling. He's looking deep. He's going to throw for Patel. Oh, Patel got crushed by Patel. Patel is down. Oh, this is not going to be good. Coach Patel has already said he cannot withstand another injury since Patel went down last week. No idea how they're going to replace Patel. Because let's face it, anyone they bring in to replace Patel, he's no Patel. That would be a great freaking week. Hey, where are you going, man? You gotta go to bed?
I knew that was coming.
There you go. Hey, remember, if they got the hand dryers to do the back and forth clap, and now look at this. They're leaving together. Ready? Let's make up a story for them as they leave. There we go. John said to Nancy, let's pretend we have to use the bathroom. We'll be back in a minute and a half like usual. Goodness, the nerve of these people. Walk out of my act. You know what I noticed? Once again, my crowd has any Asians here? No, none. Asians never support my act. It's not fair. I think of the 9 million General Tso's chickens I've eaten, the 847,000 shirts I've gotten washed and all that crap, and not one, and all the nails my wife's gotten done, not one Asian shows up in my show. What's up with that? Now, I'm going to share this with you guys. I'm a bit of a historian. You know why Asians have the squinty eyes that they do? You know, they do. I mean, let's be honest. They kind of squint. I'm not being racist. I'm just making a general observation. You know why they do? It's because of centuries upon centuries of looking at a small genitalia. Woman lays her man down. She's all excited. Next thing you know, she's like... Where'd that penis go? And you know, I live in Souderton, right? Which is up the road, you know, Souderton, like Montgomery County, Bucks County area there. And even though we're a rather, I'd call it, rather white community, there's still plenty of like kids who drive around, listen to hip hop, you know, wear the pants they put on their ass. So like you see like the urban culture kind of kick in. And I'm okay with that because I like old school rap and stuff. But one thing I never noticed, there's never a high school kid, you know, somewhere around that age who wants to be Asian. You never see it. You never see a father coming home going, yo, hon, I'm willing to tolerate the house smelling like garlic 24/7 because our son's math scores are through the roof. And check out this shirt, it's never looked better. And he sucks at driving so bad, heaven forbid if he gets his license before he's 21. This will keep our insurance way the fuck down. I'm gonna keep calling him Mr. Lee. It works for me. And damn, I think he's building a rickshaw in the garage. What's it? Oh, yeah, dude, you know what? I thought you were an asshole, but you got Bombay Sapphire, so you're all right. No, I'm just kidding. You're going to be an asshole. Bombay Sapphire is phenomenal, man. It's a good choice.
Still an asshole.
No, you're not. Not at all. I'm having fun with you. Please keep in mind, if I call your name up here, I'm just having fun. Anyone want to tell a joke for a beer? You want to try it again? No? There we go. Here we go. And your name is? Angus?
Chief. You call me Chief.
I was going to call you Beef, but hey, there you go. You have? Okay. Have you been called worse than motherfucking douchebag? Okay then. I'm just trying to...
My mother.
Really? And that was a Mother's Day probably, right? I know. Well, is she here? Do you want to bust on her?
No, she's not here, but I'll bust.
Would you like to bust on your mom? Because I did last week. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. She paid me.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, I $5.95 an hour. You gotta get something. Anyway, you ready to tell the joke, Angus?
Shout out to my wife and the Peeps there. It's our 6th wedding anniversary. Ooh, watch out. Why is 6 afraid of 7?
7, 8, 9.
Look at that. Yeah, people know the joke.
Here's the new rule. I think this is fair, right? The new rule is this. If the crowd knows your punchline, you owe me a beer. I'm not here telling jokes you all know already. God. That's where I can't stand musicians, right? If I came up here and sang 150 songs y'all need, you'd be like, that joke was great. Except for this song he sung that he wrote by himself that sucked. If I did the opposite, told you 150 jokes you already heard, and then made up one, you'd be like, that one joke he told he made up was pretty good. He should have stuck with that. Anyone here watch cop shows? My wife watches every network cop show known to mankind, but not like the real good ones, but all the cheesy ones that have like every cop cliche that you'd ever imagine. I always thought, what if actually these cop shows were real? Like in terms of how the way cops went and learned how to be cops. Like, can you picture actually going to police academy and having to learn? Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt your conversation over there. I'll wait. Is it interesting? Because if it is, I'm one of the ones. That's not. You're darn right. You're sorry. I'll send on my premenopausal wife right now and make your life a living hell. You do not have any dirty dishes in the sink at home, do you? Oh, if she doesn't, you let me know. I'll make sure that she feels the wrath of my wife. No. But these cop shows are hilarious, right? Because if you think about it, right? You think they're actually at a police academy and they're going, okay, now, Swanson, what happens if you're held in a warehouse down near the dock and a guy's got a gun to your head? What do? I panic and freak out? No, you moron. You sit there and relax because at that exact moment, your partner and a bunch of reinforcements are going to kick the door open and save your ass. You guys don't watch cop shows, okay? Oh, I like that joke. I'm sorry. I had a bunch of those jokes written. I might just skip past them now. I don't know. I got to look at this. I don't know. You know what's rather interesting when you're 47 years old? You feel young. And you get reminded that you're young, yet you're not. Because my whole head is an absolute mess in terms of it does not know how to tell me where I should be in my life. For example, I am bald here, where I used to have scalp. But yet it's not uncommon for me to wake up and find a zit right here, like I'm 14 years old. Makes no sense to me. So the best part is when I can actually still stand there and walk in the bathroom on a given morning and watch my son stand over and go, hit the mirror, Dad. It's crazy stuff, right? And then I'm like, well, I have less hair than I used to. Where is it going? It's in my ears. Why am I getting hair in my ears? There's nothing there's nothing redeeming about it in any way. It's not like, whoa, dude, you got a lot more hands than now you got ear hair. Doesn't help you. So I'm thinking it must be more my hair is actually escaping. Because it knows it goes out my ears, I'm getting rid of it right away. But I did a little like socio kind of study on my hair, you know, because I get more gray, I have less hair. And I said, boy, you know, my hair's actually the opposite of an urban neighborhood. As the blacks move out, the whites move in. Thank you, it is funny, yeah. It's funny in a Kensington kind of way. Yes, I'm with you there. Guys ever watch Family Feud? Nobody here watches TV. I love Family Feud because I swear if you watch it, they're totally convinced, they have to somehow, in the contract they must sign when they go on the show, to say every answer is a good answer. You ever notice that? Why is that? Wouldn't the show be a lot more entertaining? It was like, name your favorite color. What is plaid? That's a good answer. Everyone in Family should go, you're a moron! That's the stupidest fucking answer ever! That'd be my kind of show. I'd totally do that. Here's something I find interesting. Local news is not really news, right, if you break it down. It's not. You know what I mean? They have like maybe 2 stories that really matter. But they're like doing a story like, there was a fire in Olney tonight, and we'll go to Dan Cuellar at the scene. First of all, Dan Cuellar always stands here with the microphone like, wait out here. Check that out sometimes. I don't know why he's doing that. It's like he's just trying to test it. I think someday he's going to lay it on the ground. So, but he'll always be at the scene where the house burnt down or outside the police station, you know? And I'm always like, you know, that's a story for like that block. Like when Bill Smith lost his row home in Olney, it's really not a story for everybody. It shouldn't even be on the news. However, if there was a guy named Bill Smith in Olney who hadn't taken a shit in 3 years, and felt tonight was the night that was going to happen, that's a story. We found our constipated woman in the audience. It's felt like 3 years for me, and let me tell you, sister. Yes. So, where I was going with that was, yeah, and then you figure when Bill Smith finally does shoot that load, it's probably going to burn the whole block down, and then you got a story for sure at that. Right? Yeah, that's right. Here's my one law I want put in effect tomorrow. I think everybody's cell phone number should be their license plate number. It'd be great to call, yo, dickhead in front of me. Have you decided not to turn right for the last 13 minutes, or are you gonna fucking finally turn your turn signal off? Thank you. Yeah, I'm the guy behind you. No, I'm not waving you, I'm giving you the finger. I want you to make sure you know I'm giving you the finger. Thank you very much for doing that and turning off that turn signal. Oh great, now you're stopping. Why are you stopping? Oh great, now you're getting out. This is not good. Road rage always fascinates me. I always find that fascinating, right? You see a road rage story where some guy's gonna go to jail because someone cut him off. Come on, that's ridiculous, right? It's not. Oh, you've killed somebody on the road? What's that? I'm dealing with some nasty people over here. You're hanging with a nasty crew, dude.
Down here about 5 o'clock. Get the hell out of here. What? I want to kill 3 people on the way here.
Anyone want to sing show tunes or something? What's the one thing that we could do that would make you want to leave at this moment? Because we're about to do that. I'm really scared right now. Now, I'm counting about 100 people here. So if you want to kill 3 people on the way home, I got a 97% chance of making it. I'm happy about that. Oh my goodness. I've never heard that before.
Tell you're from solder.
I was born in Philly. Yeah, sure you did. And what I'd like you to do is come up with a comment that we have some idea what you mean when you're done with it, though. That would help me have a conversation with you. I like meatloaf, too. But you're from Saturday, where they probably make shitty meatloaf, but if you're from Philly, you know the meatloaf's fucking good where I'm from. I do like meatloaf, by the way. I really do. You know what's fascinating, guys? I always thought about this, right? We want to avoid awkward situations. I'll tell you a really good awkward situation I discovered many, many years ago. This is back before I was married to my wife. Back when we still rented movies, and she went to the video store, got your VHS. And back then, the VHS store had that special little room. He knows what I'm talking about. He definitely knows what I'm talking about. And then you went and bought your tissues. Yeah. All right, so. Hey, the Scott Tissue Factory moved out near the airport once you moved to the suburbs, I was told. But that's another story. Anyway, so. Back in the day, I went to rent a movie for my fiance, who's now my wife at the time, and I had to pay an $8 surcharge because I used my father-in-law's account, and it was for a porno. Like, well, that's kind of awkward, but that's kind of cool, you know. So I pulled my father-in-law aside many years ago. I got one question for you. Did it take you that long to get through the tape, or was Mom that into it that you kept it for me? I'm still waiting. But here's something that's got to be like the most awkward situation ever, right? And this has to happen. Probably not too common, but it has to happen every once in a while. Two guys who've never met each other before, but are going to meet each other, don't know it, but each have a stuttering problem. That's got to be hell, right? Could you picture that happen? Guy walking to another guy. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Mike. Right back at you, mama. My name is Ted. Hey, that's the fucking mean as fucking hell. What do you mean by that? You know I have a stutter problem, and you're making fun of me. No, I'm not. I have the same affliction too. And that would just suck to get through all that, wouldn't it? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm being applauded for making fun of people with a problem. Don't do it. Here's what's gonna happen. Half people at home are gonna go, that stuttering joke was so mean, but man, that was fun. I have to go to church and say a couple extra prayers. I always say this, whenever I read a joke that's really terrible, like mean and stuff, I always remind myself that Jesus has a sense of humor.
Yes, he does.
And he put me in his own image, so he would appreciate a joke that might not be where he wants it, but he allows me to do that. So that's how I sleep well with that joke, in case you were all wondering. And if someday I stutter, damn if I deserve it. And I'd be the first one to ever go, fucking right I do. Anyone tell a joke for a beer? No, you're all done with that shit. All right, well, you know what? I'll get done here soon. Oh, we're here. Come on up.
All right.
Come on up.
All right, you guys.
If it's not inappropriate, we're going to pretend it is.
Wide apart smell. So the deaf people can appreciate that.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I like that. There you go. Have a beer. She has another one. Well, hey, come on, get on. Are we all one big happy Rotary family here? Yeah. Here we go.
I don't know. What does a gay horse say? Hey!
Hi.
Get another beer. You told me no.
Good. In fact, you both thirsty. What's your name? What's your name? Beth brought up, did you say Beth? Beth, yes. Beth brought up something, you mentioned the gay horse there. You brought up something, actually the other day I was talking to a gay guy, and he called me an asshole. So Beth, I was saying this story that I thought you were ready to pay attention to, but I'll wait, because no, it's my fault, I invited you up here. It's your time to sit your ass down. So, I was talking to this gay guy today, he called me an asshole, and I took that as a compliment. Figured they're pretty high on those things, right? So I said, right back at you, you big dick. I think we're okay, I don't know. Ask this question. You guys like my jeans by any chance? They're pretty nice, right? No? Oh, I'm sorry I don't rock them like you would, you know. Hey, sorry. Now, I gotta share a story. These are my shark jeans. And everybody probably has a pair of shark jeans. You don't know it. In fact, on your way home, you're all gonna go, I've had it happen to me before. I'll share this story. Because I've been hanging with you guys for like an hour now, so I can talk to you about anything. These are my shark jeans. Got them by accident. Didn't mean it to happen. I'm sorry. Shart. S-H-A-R-T. Shart. I'm sorry. S-H-A-R-T. Ready? What's shart? There we go. I will get to a shart. I will get to all that. Get a spelling bee? You have no fucking clue how to spell shart. I will get to it all, people. So, I'm driving to work one day not so long ago, and I'm sitting there at a traffic light, and I'm a little gassy from the dinner from the night before, so I'm thinking like any typical guy, I'll just let a little gas go. Well, don't work that way when you're 47. Next thing I know, it was a little moist, I'll leave it at that. And I'm like, this is not good, because it didn't feel like it should. This is where I know that sometimes things line up for a reason. I look to my left and lo and behold, there's Old Navy. I'm like, I might be saved. So I quickly run to the changing room at Old Navy. I shouldn't say really run, I kind of pinched and I don't know what you'd call this. Well, probably running like you would. But anyway, that's how they do it in Philly. Yes. Anyway, so I'm like in this fitting room, I drop my drawers, I'm like, oh, this is not good. I sharted. A shart is when you shit when you thought you had to fart. Hence my shart jeans. So now, you do need to remember that because you're probably gonna do it 4 times tomorrow alone. So, anyway, I am now in a position where I now have to run and take care of this situation. So I have to run out and grab a pair of jeans that I believe I will still fit in, thank God I did, and go right up front. I can't try them on for obvious reasons. So now I'm standing in line, and again, thank you for everything lining up the way I needed to. Right next to me is a woman holding her 3-year-old kid going. And I'm just like, oh, my kids are grown, but believe me, I've been there many times. And you wait through that stupid bank line at Old Navy, which was the worst store to ever be in line with a shart in your pants. And so, bought the pants, went back to the fitting room, and put on my new pants, and I left. And that's how I had these shart jeans. So I guarantee it, on the way home tonight, you're all gonna turn to the person you're driving with and going, I've sharted before. And if you haven't, you will. Because we all shart at some point. We do. It's inevitable. You will shart. So, I thought of this, okay? One thing I have to do as a father of an 18-year-old daughter and my wife who still occasionally has feminine things is go buy their feminine products for them. And I'm okay with that because I know they're not for me. You know? A lot of guys don't like to do that. And I'm like, what I'd be bothered by is if I had to go buy a Preparation H for my wife, because that could be for me. But tampons or pads would not be for me, for obvious reasons. So, fascinating thing about Preparation H is, outside of razor blades and baby formula, it's the most stolen item at supermarkets. So keep that in mind. So, it is, yes. People don't want to admit that. However, if I ever did have to buy Preparation H, I would walk up to the counter, and when I got a weird look from the cashier, I'd say, yeah, the hemorrhoid's mine, but my real pain in the ass is my premenopausal wife. But here's the thing, getting back to my chart. As I buy my wife and daughter's pads, I thought, there's got to be something here for the charter in every one of us, right? So, picture me with my pants down without landing. This would cure our ill every time, guys.
You're not.
There you go. I'm ready to chart. You guys have been a phenomenal audience. My name's Jim Burns. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity to entertain you. God bless.
Folks, give it up for Jim Burns. Let's give it up for all the comedians tonight. Don't forget Teresa Hummel-Challenger back there. My name is Mark Kudurski. I believe it's still 50-50 to be drawn, am I correct?